Imagine waking up to zero streets and zero neighbors, just water vibes for days. This dude dipped from the city and decided to build an entire island out of bamboo right on top of the lake. Sick of the crowds and car noise, he went full caveman mode, choosing the simple life by building his whole world on water. And it's not just some basic cabin, it's a full-on self-sustaining island for food and shelter, totally built from bamboo using whatever's laying around. Let's see how he pulls off this masterclass starting from zilch. He's doing the whole thing solo, no help needed. Drop a prayer for the prophet, sub to join the crew, and let's get it. Step 1. Scouting for the perfect bamboo to get this island poppin'. Once he found the goods, he started hacking away with a massive sharp blade. Hauled it all down to the spot where he's building. This lake is the new home base. Bundled some sticks together and lashed them down tight. With one long pole, he's steering the simplest boat you'll ever lay eyes on. Man actually made it to the other side with zero issues. Started gathering bamboo bundles, tying them with strips that turn into some seriously heavy-duty rope that'll never snap. Tying them in multiple spots to make sure they don't come undone from any angle. Using an extra stick to crank the knots down. This thing is locked in for real. Next, he stripped the bark off some fresh bamboo, took the wood and mounted it over 2 of his bundles, leaving some gap room. More wood added the same way, building the skeleton of the island's base. These single sticks act as the pillars and frame, just like a regular house, shaping it into a perfect square, the foundation for everything. Then he brought in some thinner bamboo sticks, lined them up and lashed them to the frame, cut to perfection. Once they were set, he split a bamboo log down the middle to make wide planks for the floor. Boom, floor's ready. Now he takes a long, thick log, strips it, and carves out a notch at the end. Carved a hole in the floor frame and stood up the first main pillar for the cabin. Did the rest of the pillars the same way. Why bamboo? A bunch of reasons. For one, bamboo is hollow, making it super light and naturally buoyant. It floats without any artificial help. You're gonna hear me say bamboo a million times this video, so bear with me. If you count them all, let me know in the comments. Pillars are up. Now he's prepping a triangle-shaped roof. This design is clutch for shedding rain and cutting through the wind. It makes the roof way more stable once the main structure is set. He split some bamboo to make shingles for the roof covering, hauled them up and started nailing them down. First time he's used anything non-bamboo on this island. This wood is everywhere around here, so it's dirt cheap and easy to source. Total game changer for his workflow. Gathered another huge batch. Cut to size. These were massive and totally hollow. Split them and interlocked them to make a big stack. On the other side, he took some thinner hollow sticks, threaded some rope and tied them to a super long pole. Dug a hole on the shore to anchor one end, leaving the other free. Used this crane setup to move his bamboo from shore to island. Total genius move. Saved so much time. Used that bamboo to finish the roof, securing it to the main frame. Layered them perfectly to keep the rain out and provide some solid shade. Made it watertight, no leaks allowed. Set up some beams for a second floor and floored it with split sticks. Part 1 of the island? Done. Moving on to the rest. Built over the other bundles to expand the foundation, setting down a bunch of support logs. Flipped another log to brace them and tied it all together with bamboo strips. Back to the shore for more bamboo to floor the rest of the space. Bamboo is light, but it's tough as nails. Once the flooring was dialed in, the place really started to look like a home. To reach the second floor, he needed a ladder. He took some thick hollow logs for the rails. For the steps, he cut and shaped pieces from other logs. Ladder's good to go. Now it's wall time. Prepped his bamboo and built half-height walls. This wood is so easy to work with. Cutting and tying it is a breeze, which is key for DIY builds like this. Walls are up, now for the door. Framed it with bamboo and filled the middle with vertical slats. Set it in place and finished the walls with X-bracing. On the sides, he heated a thin stick over a fire to bend it into a circle, lashed it down tight and added more rings to make a sweet balcony rail.
nailing everything down solid. More X walls for the look, added some plants for the vibes, and started on another fence around the island perimeter. Cut the posts to height and set them up with perfect spacing. Added thin green bamboo slats in the gaps, keeping everything airy. Capped it with long logs. Bamboo is eco-friendly and won't mess with the water. Big plus. Hit the forest to find some specific logs and sliced them into rings, loaded them up and headed back to the island. Placed the rings around the island, filled them with forest soil and transplanted some wild greens. Variety is key. He's growing a whole garden for future snacks. In the open space, he built a small side room. Frame and pillars, all bamboo. Built the roof a bit differently this time, splitting logs and layering them like tiles. This makes the roof solid and leak-proof. Then he framed the walls, slapped in some thin slats for the room walls. Lots of effort, but it looks clean. Once the walls were set, he mixed up some mud and dirt into a thick paste. Used stones and mud to build an oven, natural cement style. Finished it with a chimney to vent the smoke. Lunchtime, but first he needs some fishing gear. Made his own gear from scratch, starting with a wooden handle shaped like a pistol. Carved it out and added a metal tip. He legit made a spear gun for fishing. Sliced a glass bottle to make a lens for some epic diving goggles. Time to test the gear. He dove in and the results were insane. Hooked a monster fish. Ever seen a catch that big? He cleaned it, seasoned it, and threw it in his new oven. Let's eat. Now for some quick furniture. First up, a table. Cut a thick log and made a 4-point base that looks like a fan. Mounted the center post and built the tabletop. Next, the chair. Built the frame with strong green bamboo, then stripped it. Finished it with split logs for the seat and back. Turned out legit. Now he's building a boat to cruise around the lake. Bamboo, obviously. Started with 2 long curved logs for the hull. Braced them with small bamboo sticks and tied the front with some natural fiber. Tied bamboo bundles to the hull. This is the foundation of the boat. Lashed it all together, floored it with bamboo, and nailed it down. Added a center brace for stability. Then he built a frame on the back half, pillars and beams for a roof covered in split bamboo shingles. Needs an oar to move, made from, wait for it, bamboo. Long pole with fan-like slats and a steering handle. Tweaked the hull a bit and launched it. Success.
Mashed up some yellow plants to make a natural stain for the furniture. Added a vase with flowers. Grabbed more bamboo with the boat to finish the island. Things are about to get crazy. The foundation is set. Now for the real creativity. Bundled more bamboo and tied it to the island as an extension. Added supports, trimmed the excess, and floored it with thin slats. Left a big square opening in the middle. Split some logs to frame that opening. Lashed them down to frame the edges of the floor. Built a wooden frame in the empty spot and floored it with thin bamboo. Walled it off with sticks, leaving slots to slide in wood panels. Dropped it into the water and lashed it to the floor beams. This is his built-in swimming pool. Built a wooden cage on the side, wrapped in bamboo slats with a handle. Braided a rope for the strap. It's like a bamboo backpack. First time seeing a bamboo bag, right? Took it into the woods, found some potatoes. Then he built a whole bamboo trap, covered it in leaves and rigged it up. Set it up to catch some wildlife. Caught 2 chickens. Back to the island, tied up the chickens and fed them. Built a coop next to the pool. Frame, slats, floor, he built a whole chicken house. Finished the coop with a triangle roof, shingles, and a latching door. Cutest chicken coop ever. Back to the forest for a hollow log, sliced it in half and brought it back. Carved them out and set them around the pool as planters. Filled with soil and more plants. Kept going. Cut some sticks into rings and hung them from long poles. Lashed it all with bamboo strips to make a big cylinder trap with doors on both ends. Built a crane system on the boat to lower and raise the trap. Frame, lashing, pulley, all natural. Dropped the trap into the lake. Hauled it up later and it was loaded with fish. Big one goes in the pool, small one for dinner. Build a trellis over the whole area with pillars and thin slats. Lash them together so the plants can grow over the top. Extended the island floor some more. This time the logs are deep in the water. floored it, connected it with a walkway, and covered it with banana leaves and mud to make a floating garden bed. Wove a wooden mesh, trimmed it, and made another circular mesh the same way. Made a giant circular cage by fitting the meshes together. Capped it off. This is another massive fish trap. Added a handle and set the trap with some bait. Trap worked like a charm. Then he added more pillars and bamboo to the garden area, sliced, nailed down floor planks, braced the roof, and built another triangle frame. Roofed it with bamboo slats, heated some strips to bend them for the ridge cap, sliced bamboo logs in half to cap off the roof triangle. Moving on to the walls. Added braces to hold bamboo slats for half walls. Finished the walls, left a window space with X patterns and a folding shutter door. Sealed up the gaps under the floor. Built a mud oven inside using wood frames and mud paste. Shaped the oven body, pulled the frame. Oven number 2 is done. More plants, lit a fire in the oven, and added a backrest to the boat. Hit the forest to weave a small bamboo basket. Cooked up a meal, then back to work. Built a railing around the island walkway using bamboo. Decorated the posts with wooden vases he carved, filled with dirt and plants. Stripped thin bamboo to make a storage rack for his kitchen. Wove a huge net and finished flooring the last open spots in the garden area. Built a shore anchor and a pulley system on a post using a carved wooden wheel. Rigged up his fishing net to the pulley, added a light to attract them, and hauled in a massive catch. Wove a big basket with a shoulder strap to carry the load. Built a large planter box, filled it with forest soil, and planted a banana tree. Harvest time. Gathered up all his homegrown grain, but left the roots so it can grow back. Made a bin to store the massive haul. Wove a beautiful bamboo mat, laid it out in the cabin, and spread the grain to dry. Carved a wooden rake to turn the grain, then built a huge mortar out of a log, burnt it out and cleaned it, made a long pestle and built a foot-powered pounding machine, wove 2 killer bamboo plates, pounded the grain, sifted out the chaff, clean rice, ready to go. Found a beehive, built a custom box and moved the hive in to get that fresh honey. Covered the last gaps with bamboo, built 3 raised garden beds with straw and soil, built a tall wooden smoker box, caught a fish, seasoned it, and smoked it over a fire. Looks fire. Island complete. He legit built his own private paradise from scratch. Let me know your favorite part in the comments. Check out these other videos. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.